number 54 says that you are going to be putting a lot of pins into your bag. You are going to be doing something called easing the fabric together. Basically, it means that you are going to be taking the two shapes from your end piece and from your body piece and making them so that they fit together without having any visible wrinkles. Okay, so you're going to be making little tiny wrinkles all the way around the bag so that you won't be able to see them after you sew. Otherwise, if we didn't do it this way and we just sewed, we would end up with a big fold of extra fabric in our bags. So we're going to be putting 7 pins in between each of the sections that you've already pinned from number 53. Okay, so between the two sections of pins, there's going to be 7 pins total. And I'm going to start by putting a pin right in the middle. So you're going to have some extra fabric. It probably won't match up perfectly. So the part of the easing that we're doing is making it so that we're going to have about half of the amount of extra on each side. So it kind of bubbles up here and it kind of bubbles up here. It makes it so that that's going to be even on both sides. Then I'm going to put the pin right in the middle between the two that I've already had, okay, or the two that were already there. I'm going to try to get as close to the middle as I can. Okay, then I'm going to put another pin in the middle between these two. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. If there's any extra fabric here, I want to make it so there's the same on both sides, and then I put the pin in the middle there. Okay, then I'm going to do another one in the middle. So you're just moving the fabric to make it so it's evenly spaced in the middle of each of these pins. So now I'm going to go and do one back in the other middle, like this. Then I'm going to do the same thing between these two. So I make it so however much extra there is, I evenly space that out. And I put another pin down and back up. And then I'm going to put one here in the middle. And then I'm going to put another one in the middle. Okay, so between these two that I started with, I added 7 pins in between there to make it so that the space here is going to be evenly distributed, so I'm not going to have any weird wrinkles. Okay, make sure that the plastic part of the pin is sticking out, or else it's going to be hard to hold on to because all the sharp parts of the pins will be sticking out. Okay. When you do the side that has your D-ring sewn onto it, when you do that side, this D-ring part is going to have to lay flat because it's so thick. So when you do this one, you're going to end up with a little bit extra on this side. Okay, but I'm going to pin right over here, which is right next to where the webbing is. Okay, I can put one pin that goes through the webbing like this, okay, to make sure it stays in place. Okay, and then I can leave one here, and then I'm just going to do my ones in the middle between these two. So I'm easing the fabric there. I'm going to ease the fabric between these two to even out that wrinkle. And I'm going to ease the fabric here also. Okay, so this one will have less pins, but this part is going to be flat where your webbing is from your D-ring. Okay, I'm going to put pins all the way around, 7 between each one of the pins that are already there in each one of those sections. When you are all finished putting your 7 pins between each section, it will end up looking like this. Before you sew this, or before you move on to step number 55, you should check to make sure that it looks like all of the wrinkles are smooth. If there's a part that looks like you have more wrinkles, it looks like it might fold over or something as you're sewing it, you can add pins or adjust your pins to make it so that it looks like it's more even. So right here it looks like there's kind of some extra little bumps here, so I can make sure to add another pin before I start sewing to make it so it's going to stay even as I sew over it. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple more pins just to make it so that wrinkle is going to stay good as I sew. Okay, so before you sew it, it should look like this.